Welcome everybody. Welcome to Soul. I'm so excited. This video is being streamed live with different places, sure, with different places. So this is for anybody who has a copy of the Soul Stress Destress Strategies checklist. Um, and this video guide will show you how to make the most out of your checklist and will guide you through uh, really defining your soul and de-stress um, journey. So many people struggle with stress and releasing stress in life and in business because they don't know which strategies or solutions are most equivalent to the results. And a lot of souls, spiritual entrepreneurs, and um, some entrepreneurs, they're afraid that they would waste their time and energy to find out strategies and solutions that will help them to get results. So I created a process for you to quickly, effortlessly, and effectively get um, to know which strategies and solutions work specifically for you and apply them so that you can achieve total freedom, peace, focus, and harmony in everyday life for maximum success. So I've always been wanting to seek out solutions and solve what matters for myself and for others who uh, I feel called to. And I've always had an entrepreneurial, creative, and spiritual soul. There are so many examples of this in my life that I just kind of summarizing this to the point. I think since you just said everything, I'm aware of these more spiritual meanings, starting to meditate, and between 9 and 14, I proactively found solutions and got results for what was it, depression and apathy, and major intentional concentration issues that is known to kind of like ADHD and autism. And I did this with energy work, movement, and fasting. And then between 14 and 23 years old, I proactively found solutions for results from anxiety, grief, emotional wellness, and emotional resilience, emotional growth, and staying with them, through work, organic medicine, community gratitude, and other nutrition and lifestyle changes. And between 23 and now, which I'm in, I've proactively found and finding solutions and results. I have gotten results on beliefs, trauma, sabotage, procrastination, addictions, family, travel, business, finances, income, and impact, and the stress that comes with those, with simple proven strategies that change everything between me and my soul and stress. So, at the moment, I'm very experienced, and I'm I work in person, I work online, location independently, and in Mexico, and British. Otherwise, I'm in my business, my experience, my family, my knowledge, my resilience, and my growth, all the better for it. And I'm certainly doing it for equal experience because I'm so passionate about helping you to find soul freedom, focus, peace, and empowerment in your daily life. And I love what I do and the journey that I've been on with my own work and everyone else I work with. Seeking, and I'm going to continue to seek out solutions and results on that most. So I've been helping others along the way with solutions and results that I proactively found, and solutions and results that I find as I go through doing research, as well as participating in and try it and experimenting with myself using panic as well. As since the age of 9, I felt I called and I made a conscious decision. And I'm learning and tweaking as I go, and I'm so grateful to have you join me on this journey. So today, I shared solutions and results for people like you to help you achieve the same thing. I am others I've worked with, I've seen, um, experience, learned from. So to help you achieve deep soul freedom, peace, focus, empowerment, and change in your everyday life, you know what answers right now. As a once stressed out, a neurodivergent, another parent, spiritual, so you know, I help other people who are stressed, especially newcomers, entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs, and everyday spiritual souls and soulpreneurs. Uh, so, uh, nomads, digital nomads, expats. I kind of call them learning nomads and experts around here. And um, parents, mompreneurs, um, we- dadpreneurs, and neurodivergence, so ADHD, autism, so on and so forth. These are all things I've experienced in my life. And for those of you out there who want to find out more about any of those categories, I think if you have come across something, you know exactly what I'm talking about and you know you're in the right place. Um, if you're interested, if you are, I do have a quiz coming up that you can find out if you fall under one of those categories. So I help people who are stressed release stress daily and where they overcome anxiety, achieve wellness, and beyond in the process. And all the while saving time and energy with solutions and with results. So I'm going to start here. I'm hoping that this is visible and it stays visible because I did a test with it yesterday and it disappeared. So if you're someone where you can comment, please let me know in the chat that um, this checklist is not being shared. Well, if you want to get a copy of this checklist, I will put a link to the group where you can join with your email address, and this will be sent out to you by email if you're watching this because you have received your email and the checklist in your email. Then congratulations, and yeah, hit reply in my email. As I say in my email, if there anything you want to talk about, anything in the past, I'm always excited to hear from others. So here we go. Soul stress, de-stress strategy included with this email and with this program, if you are doing this program, is your shortcut cheat sheet to make sure you build a strong, solid foundation and cover all ground when you're starting out and going through this process of proactively finding and applying the simple strategies and the solutions and results they get you. Such as better focus, clarity, productivity, discipline, centeredness, patience, calm, agency, and ultimately deep soul stress release. You know, that place of wellness that you've always kind of dreamed and thought like this is impossible for me to achieve. That's definitely possible, and this checklist is essential to find that. What I'm going to do now is walk you through the checklist. So we start with the soul framework, and the soul framework uh, is based on the idea of four bodies within the soul, or four levels of the soul. And first level is physical physiological. So this is where you have your genetics, um, your your physical, your matter, your body, as we understand it in this reality, and then the mental body at the mental level, which is like intellectual level, cognitive level, thoughts, kind of considered more masculine or more in the head, even though the body kind of is uh, very essential too, and has many so, psychological body, which is like the psyche. Um, the psychological body is kind of our beliefs and some of our intuitions also here, and then the spiritual body at the spiritual level, which is sort of intro level, and uh, as we go, we kind of see how we fit together with stress and how stress happens on different levels. So, for example, you have like a connection. If you are a spiritual person and you look into different areas of this, um, you're connected to beyond yourself, everything around you, or the idea of everything is one, or in reality, life affecting to you, but you are manifesting. So this is just one way to kind of, as we go through the strategies and making sense, I don't want to take too much time, but just on the so one way, to really get specific on what kind of stress we're addressing. And then the de-stress wheel is kind of where you're at, as I mentioned before, like neurodivergent. Do you have mental health conditions or developmental conditions? Um, like anxiety is kind of like a broad factor for generalized anxiety, for panic uh, attacks, panic disorder. And then there's like autism and uh, ADHD and so many other sensory learning person disorder, sensory learning differences and sensory person disorder. So I myself have or experience, is how I prefer to phrase it, neural differences that overall neurologically different. Um, for me, they have impact of this stress, whether it is not like as a spiritual person, it's not um, is getting in the way of my bones, listically. And then parentpreneur, so you're a parent, your children, you're busy with family. Um, again, if you also run your business or you want to start your business or you want to start a side hustle, that can be stressful, a transition and a lot of emotions with the family, and entrepreneur with traveling around the world with the ideal lifestyle and you figure out how to do that. And again, starting out stressful, growing from there, developing the stress from there. Everyday spiritual soulpreneur is maybe like somebody who's just wants to change in their career and um, wants to grow their side hustle or start a business. So we go to the next page. The change compass, as I mentioned, into anxiety. Oh, wait, I'm skipping ahead of myself. In the change compass, you have like, this is kind of associated with the soul film. It's a physical evidence, anxiety, trauma, other emotional um, intelligence or regulation capacities. Um, the emotions you mostly feel or mostly express themselves through the physical body, through the experience of the physical body. And then in the mind, in the mental body, it's more depression, mood, obsessions, and rumination, which is anxiety too, but it's more like apathy. It's like a um, felt around the head. That's how it, like a heaviness around the head. And I talk about lightness and heaviness in the different bodies throughout the coaching. And sabotage and beliefs, this is where the psychic, psyche, the psychological body, um, is operating kind of at levels of intuition or at levels of spirit attachments, which is getting, also related to the spiritual body. Um, this is where it's like a border between the spiritual and the other bodies. And then on the level of the spiritual body, you have complete impact. And this is like your interaction with life and what you choose to do. And in your empowerment kit, so this is just something we just look at. Is your empowerment kit connected? Is your empowerment kit courageous? Is your empowerment kit clear? Is your empowerment kit competent? And I reflected a lot on competence. I talked about cognitive dissonance of how neurodivergent or parent or pneumopreneurs, everyday spiritual preneurs, they experience a sense of like imposter syndrome, they don't feel confident, maybe when they're starting out or when they're going through certain processes. much more than other other people. So that's that. The idea of it is to kind of so in your checklist is blank. You usually pick one or two in each category every season or 12-week period, 90-day period to focus on. Um, and you can try to nail down um, what areas are the most important, and then these are strategies which are then applied to uh, address those areas. So we are now looking at the simple soul stress relief strategies. So on the physical level, the physical body, things like connecting, grounding, earthing, going outside barefoot. It's a very practical example of how to do that. And another example is energy work. So, or being around people is actually part of that. Um, or being aware of your um, sensations and perceptions on the physical level. So when we are stressed, anxiety, etc., connecting is one strategy that is very useful. So Reiki, like that is it's physical. And so anybody who knows about Reiki knows it's the physical level, symbol, and mental level symbol, and so Reiki. Definitely. The next one is sleep. I meant to change that to rest actually. So in future editions of this checklist to be rest and sleep, uh, physical rest is needed for the regulation of your system. So can help so much with stress and anxiety. And then looking at the sleep and how that's affecting you. That's where we go into the individual portion of the coaching and how to apply the checklist. Um, Nourishment, so this is like food and beyond. So diet, nutrition, supplements, remedies, natural remedies, and it's a big wide field, but most people don't run into that would be it. Movement, again, it's like exercise and beyond. So it's like trauma release therapy as well, trauma release exercises. Moving on to de-stress, so we have so to appreciate, this is actually like gratitude practices that people have do have gratitude practices, right? But it's having strategies to have moments of appreciation. Um, and that takes courage. Some examples of like tactics. So this is going into tactics. So the strategies, which is the overarching framework, and the tactics. Examples of tactics for appreciation would be like gratitude journaling. Then affirm, and this is can be done in many ways as well. So it can also be done using questions with the mentor, for example. Um, I'd say like um, the movement of language. I have a large document which explains it, but like expressing yourself verbally or writing it down. But if that's not the best way to express stuff, then even visually as well. So as you can see, breathing explores. So breathing is a way to increase the amount of oxygen that is reaches your brain. You know, the brain is not the only intellectual organ, it's a massive one. And then exploration is things like play and creating things to learning things. And it's a big part of how we process and handle situations. So that's the mental body, psychological de-stress. So clearing again, this applies in many different, like the different tactics to this. So this is like getting clarity, having a clear mind, and also clearing the space, decluttering, things like that. Creating, so this is continually exploring into intentional avenues where you're actually making something very intentional. It could be big project or small, visualizing. This I so we talk a lot about senses and perception when we work with people, and visualizing. I tend to think of it as a full sensory experience, not just like a sight, like one bit sense, but like extra sensory as well. Smell. So like if you explore different extra senses, also extra. But touch, taste, everything like you're in the moment. So spiritual distress is change. So change is to intentionally like set out to change something in action. I have examples of tactics for change. So this is like I can like to give examples if we have time after. Um, I think change is quite. It's like you make a decision to change, and then you do that. You apply that change. Um, Sharing. This comes out to the community and your network and people that you feel you can give them to support them. And choosing to because very carefully is also very important. Consider, so to reflect on things, to take into consideration the like internal, external, and all um, contexts. And lastly, celebrating. That's important as well. So then we have the simple de-stress stress relief strategies, which as I mentioned before, you want to focus on the neurodiverse entrepreneurial stress and stresses that they have, and you'll be focusing more on the physical soul strategies of connecting, nourishing, and then as an entrepreneur, so there is um, I call these like evergreen de-stress or brand de-stress. But John Lewis and Vegas members, and I was writing a book with evergreen assets, and they talks about six uh, essentials for your business, for your bank to keep it running, functioning, and not driving you nuts because you feel like you're hitting the dead ends and you're really stressing out every single fucking day. Pardon my French. But it's a great experience for anybody who knows what I'm talking about, and they are very quickly going to list on the structures. Um, so they are lead generation, and prospecting, and then sale, no, sorry, lead, nurture, sale, uh, fulfillment, admin, viral, I believe. And I kind of put lead and brand together, and I'll explain that, but they all relate to brand. And like how you nurture is related to brand and to your brand story. So this goes into like the business stress side, which is why I wrote the book. Um, so with neurodiverse entrepreneurs, they likely more to experience like physical as well as other more like the heart racing, those physiological signs, you know. So connecting and nourishing is really important, and I very much so for example, like with natural remedies, things like homeopathy, I tactics that use in the nourishment. So when I work with clients, I consult on the constitutional type or the I consult the energy field, physical, mental, psychological, and spiritual history. And I find remedies that they need on the flower remedies, and that's the Australian page, or gem essences, gem remedies, flower essences, elixirs, there's some new names. We back up remedies, so it's part of nourishment, so it's not just like what you eat in your diet, it's also how you um, kind of have all the nourishment that you need um, to be able to grow and thrive. I was just keeping an eye on time. So they usually struggle with that, and then connected, kind of like being connected. Sleep as well, rest. Um, opportunity to rest. That's insomnia, so anxiety, trauma, insomnia. That's usually things we're looking at, like procrastination as well, um, as a side effect of that. And then on the business side, or like if you have a side hustle, or if you just like, so as a spiritual soul, I just say this with people that here, um, I think it's important to realize that financially, if you have a job that is not providing the income and impact that you feel is um, that isn't needed in reality, then having a side hustle or business, I think is like very important for everybody. Or having a second job, a third job, that usually adds a lot more stress. There is actually a movement of overemployed people. So people who are overemployed and they have like more than one job. Um, yeah, if you want to check out the Reddit, go over there, check it out and see like if you want to go down that road. And then sales and fulfillment is something that a lot of people with mental health conditions and um, mental health conditions and developmental conditions struggle with. And sometimes they also struggle with nurturing, but I find that sales is nurturing, but they struggle more because they do like now they um, to nurture comes kind of naturally if they have a special interest in something, like somebody with autism, so they can find a way to speak about things and have people um, feel like known, like interest. And parapreneur de-stress, so this is more to do with gratitude and exploration. I find as parents we get to run routines and we start to wish things were a different way. And uh, having that sense of play and creativity is important. And this, like, even if you've had, um, like, I'll come back to this if you're at 10. I've been in viral, so this is like taking care of the things that will keep your business going automated. And you won't have to be as hands-on to it, spend hands-on with family and whatever. So I've been working like it never ends. And having a way to like find the new, so being like, say going viral, but like having like a referral system or whatever other way that you can ultimately people find you because as a parent you um, want to kind of be able to have a routine and a plan around the life that you love and that you to spend all the time looking for these. But this applies to like all the others, right? No entrepreneurs, they need to focus on clearing and creating a lot because they can clarity like if they want to be in a certain place. You know, I've worked with a lot of people who have this, like, this is where I want to be right now because I'm recording. Um, or like another example is a client I had, I can share, it's a case study. Um, she is an architect, but she took time off her work to travel, and she was planning to return back to one specific country that she would choose, but ideally running it to family origin. And she um, wanted to open up her own cafe and like community with very uh, sustainable materials, not using you know, things that are climate friendly, for lack of a better term. So she was, you know, trying to get rid of paper on this and creating different, you know, you have to move to a different place and say this is what this place to look like here. And it's actions that manifest and visualizing as well. And what your nomad knows how to struggle is nurturing, and that's because you're moving around a lot, especially if you're working in person and online. But say, for example, they work online and they're nurturing somebody, they have time zones to deal with. And I know this from experience because you're trying to, you're scheduling a call with somebody in Australia or you just like around different countries all day. Nurturing, I would say, is like the thing they would focus on releasing stress from. And we have this. So last one is everyday spiritual soul canal distress, and this is basically anything really feels specific to any of those other one categories. I kind of relate to them all, which is why I would really I know really well what works for them. Um, but this is like so changing. You need to try a lot of different things to find out one thing. Often, if you have so many interests, or you have a few different, like say three specific, you have to nail down um, which one. But this can kind of also apply in your life um, in general. Like so this was related to the spiritual level. Sharing, so considering, especially starting out either in your business or just to exploring your spiritual journey, and then lead generation and branding, because again, I feel like um, for you, especially like if you don't have a partner, or if you're not with family, um, and it can be it's finding those people to start off. So lead generation, finding the one thing that you do to just kind of related. This is just me summarizing quickly over this so you guys kind of understand how to use this. So this is some examples of your daily soul stress release strategy. You see here, yeah, simple de-stress. So for the spiritual parentpreneur, remember those four that we covered for spiritual soul de-stress? Those spiritual soul stress release, those are there. I think three of them are. Soul stress release and important, yeah. So affirming, exploring, and appreciating because um, you want to change the way you believe or think about something. Um, Whatever it might be, if you think it's possible. And then you look at your bio and admin de-stress where you are able to get constant referrals. So this will also depend where you're on the journey. So if you're just like a year parent but you're starting out, you obviously have to focus on leads and brands. But this is more of like the after working with so many people, kind of contextualizing, generalizing, so that it's easier to work with the data. And then sharing, considering, and change. So maybe you also need to look at some of the more social distress. I would recommend no more than three of any sort of like the um, no more than three of the evergreen distress, um, and then no more three of like another one time. And you'll see how this works out. Like in the next video, I will go through how you have the quiz that I'll be sharing in a week or so. Um, we'll also come with a video of how to uh, like personalize this for your specific case. And then lastly, as I mentioned, evergreen assets, nurture, sales, etc. And then if you are part of the Facebook group, the Daily De-Stress Masterclasses, you'll be covering the Soul Stress De-Stress Secrets Masterclasses in the Facebook group. The others, these are part of the online live coaching program that you can join. So I'm doing a 50% off uh, for this first round. So it's $377 instead of $777. It's more than 50%. I should find out what percent. But I'm keeping up with the sharing for like the people who are going to watch this. Yeah, so that's planning to be December 17th. We will see if you confirm that with the people who already signed up. Thank you so much for people who signed up. They know who they are. Or I will reach out to them and let them know. Yeah, and you can watch this soul stress strategies checklist type video. So if you have a copy, this will this here. I'll direct you to this video if you need a refresh. So you can complete this checklist in this digital. Um, and if not, then I think that wherever you're watching this, whether it's live, um, streaming live, or if it's on the replay, um, you are able to access a copy of the checklist if you join the Facebook group. There'll be a link around live replay someone in the comments in the description. Keep a link up to join the Facebook group with your email address, and you will get a copy of this checklist. And we will be building on this with a quiz to find out your type, as well as going through each specific, like some general and some more specifics into each type. So there's the soul and the de-stress, soul stress, de-stress. Um, Stress release. I think that's the last slide, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure. Let's see to see. Oh yeah, one more thing. Um, so I'm going to be making you a special one-time offer of right here, right now, being able to join the live group coaching program at only 50%. Uh, so if you get in now, you not only get the course for half price, but you will also take part in a group coaching session. So the course is discounted. Um, when it's released, it'll be a lot higher. So you will not only have a live group coaching program, you will also have material after that, like the course, full course material. You won't have to pay again. So I will personally teach everything to you, guide you through it, and coach you through it, and answer all of your questions live during the training. And then I'll make sure you understand everything. So anybody else who's like coming on to the self-paced online course afterwards, it will not have as much support for you. And they, um, well, one-on-one support unless they opt in for it, because you come in early and you got a discounted price. So um, I'm also going to offer until now, between now and the end of December, I have limited number of one-on-one sessions at 77 US dollars instead of 277 US dollars. And these are like really, you can either break them up into into two sessions. I do allow this because some people they feel like we need to break them between parts of the sessions, but these are really in depth. These are, I would say, like leave at least 3 hours available, and we can do 90 minutes one day, 90 minutes another, which kind of comes into like the weekend intensive style of doing it, or we can just do 1 3 hour session together. But it's totally worth it for like setting you up for the season, the first quarter, like January to April. It's a 3 month plan and kind of an overview. So we take an overview of 6 months, but we only plan for 3 months. Um, and we put in place like what longer term version of that is. So essentially, you will get a concrete plan for 3 months. If that plan works, you can continue it for the next 3 months, for the whole 6 months. If there is some changes that you know need to happen after those 3 months, there's a change guide that we create together. So essentially it's 6 months, but it's like 3 months repeated because also with the moon cycle, you know, everything but the moon is a 6 months period, which um, involves some moon magic. But I get really excited and love what I do so much so that I'm now going to give you over to you to the opportunity to kind of go through everything again. If you need to ask me any questions, if you're watching this live, you can ask me live, or uh, hit reply if this is an email. Um, yeah, thank you so much. I had so much fun doing that. Um, I'm actually going to go into the comments and just answer all the questions in the comments instead of in the video. Thank you so much for joining me every soul. Um, and I hope the plan is every um, Saturday would be a nice day. It's talking about systems and success. This is going through the system of my program. And I can also do interviews with successful clients on Saturday. So yeah, every Saturday hopping on live is a good plan. I have thought this through, but I did plan on Saturday, but I didn't know how it was going to go. So I'll see you next Saturday, and we will go over the types, either the systems, or I will have a client come on and I will interview them about their journey. And thank you so much for joining me. Join the Facebook group for the master classes because that's and so much more. Um, that's where the secrets are. Like this. This is just like you know surface level. Like if you want to really get results, join the group. There's also a community of people who will also be doing lives there on Wednesday, Tribe Wednesday, for the community. So you can join in for that. Like, co-working space to do join the group to find out all the different activities to help you in your business when you actively stress daily. So my name is Serafina. So hopefully I will leave you to have a good one until next time.